Hello. First, I just want to say, sorry for my room. The way it looks this way. Professor, you know that I'm going to be going to Myrtle Beach next week for spring training, so it's a little hectic here. Um, so the reason I have to do this today is I have to answer the question, which of the movies that we've watched, The Truman Show, Total Recall, or The Matrix, provides the biggest challenge to what is reality? And as I said in class, it's going to be The Matrix. Um, it has within that movie the underlying of major mind blowing ideas. The first thing being that, for example, that this water bottle. I know that this is a water bottle. I can feel it. I can drink the water out of it, and I can see it. And according to the Matrix, all this is a piece of code, and that I don't my body, physical body, doesn't exist in the Matrix. It is the what the mind's perception of what you look like is, um, and really all we are a form of batteries for the machines. Now I want to think about that for a minute, because if I was put in Neo's position, I have the ability to to meet Morpheus, to go outside of what he knows as reality, and to see what the real world is in that sense. Which, when he opens it, first time he opens his eyes after he gets plugged out of the Matrix, um, it's right as he's looking down at the farms, and he's got all the hoses and stuff in him and all that. Now, that's the real world, and he finds that out again when he goes back to the Matrix for the first time with Morpheus, and he explains to him, what he thinks is reality is really not reality, and then he tells him what reality is, and he doesn't want to accept it, which I think I would agree that I probably wouldn't accept it at first either. If I'm living in this room and everything I can see here, I'm going to believe is real. That's just who I am. That if I can see it, I know it's real. It's like I think of it as like ghosts. If people say they see ghosts, never seen a ghost, I'm not going to believe in a ghost. So in that sense, I could believe that what Neo is seeing is the Matrix, and what real world is kind of like a ghost. At the beginning of the movie, he knows there's something up because he knows what the Matrix. He has a question about the Matrix. But he knows there's something up. So obviously he's got faith. But when he sees what it is, he doesn't want to accept it. So, if to me, if I was put in Neo's position, like I said, I go from knowing everything around me is real. This is where I grew up, or what I perceive myself growing up, and the way I look is how I really look, and the job that I work is what I do. That's my reality. Then to come out of that and see nothing you knew is real, I'd be crushed. I don't even know how I could physically feel at that very minute. Um, but that's a little off topic. But back to the central question of, the Matrix being the biggest challenge to claim that reality is. The thing about the Matrix, not the movie, but the physical, being of the Matrix itself, is that everything had a purpose. The water bottle, which I said earlier, a code had to be written so that it acted like a water bottle. And I believe that that's a water bottle. Because in the Matrix, all I can do is let my brain perceive that what I can hear, smell, taste, and touch is my reality. But that, as Morpheus said in the beginning of that movie, reality is just electrical signals interpreted by the brain. And if the brain is the only thing existing in the Matrix, I can understand why that's reality because your brain is doing all the sensing. Um, the other one I really think helps tie in, how can we define what is real is when you go back, if you were unplugged from the Matrix and you go back to it, um, the end of that movie where Neo had a change. They take Morpheus and he has to change himself and he goes, the Oracle told me this would happen. I have to do this. He says, I don't know why. I just feel it. And, they go back, they save Morpheus, and Neo starts doing all those crazy moves. And he's realizing that where he was really isn't reality because he can now manipulate it now that he's knowing that he was there and it's not real. And a good example of that is when him and Neo and Morpheus are fighting for the first time. And Morpheus kind of, beats up on Neo and he goes, why can you not hit me? And Neo goes, because you're too fast, too strong. Morpheus looks at him and goes, do you believe that me being faster or stronger has anything to do with my muscles in this place? And he's telling Neo that it's all about how fast or strong you perceive yourself. And if you can perceive yourself to be stronger than you think you are, then in the Matrix, that is accepted. That is you can manipulate forces that you can't do in reality. And that is... I caught myself almost talking something from the second movie. And that can't be done in the real world. So, what I would consider is this: yes, the Matrix is the biggest challenge to what is reality. And, if I was plugged into the Matrix right now, I think I'd be pretty happy with it. I have a good life, But if I came out of this and I didn't know what was going on, and I found out that this was fake, even though I could touch it, I'd be a little freaked out too.